What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's doing well, staying positive and staying productive. On this episode, which is going to be part of the mindset series, I want to speak to you guys about mastering self-discipline. So I had a huge problem transitioning my life from the past that I lived with the streets and living like a gangster and getting free money and doing whatever I wanted to do and not having any accountability to my actions or any remorse into becoming the man who I am today, living the life that I'm living. And one of those hard things for me to change was definitely discipline. Even though I was super disciplined with sport and athletics and training my whole life, I never ever applied those attributes to the other pieces of the pie. And it wasn't easy to do that because I had already nailed it for so long that I didn't see it as uncomfortable. I didn't even see it as a process, to be honest with you. I just thought that this was the way a man was supposed to live. He ate a certain way, he lifted, and he boxed, and this is how he carried himself. It was still that alpha male mentality. I never was able to relate that into an emotional and mental state to be able to incorporate that into the other factors of my life where I wasn't doing so well. So here's 3 ways that you can increase your self-discipline. Way number 1 is to be able to recognize what your distractions really are that stop you from being disciplined. So you got to be honest with yourself and make a list, okay? And on that list is going to be your TV shows, it's going to be scrolling through social media, it's going to be gossiping, it's going to be playing with your pets, it's going to be, oversleeping and sleeping too late, just wasting your time on videos or whatever it can be. And you've got to make yourself a list, because only then, when you recognize sincerely and honestly the things that are distracting you from being able to accomplish a goal or certain goals, are you able to, start piecing those things together to be able to change them. So on my list, definitely it was scrolling through social media. Scrolling through social media was huge for me because my job is to be online on social media and to view the changes and the trends and the content of others. Even though I don't follow it, I still have to get an idea of what's going on and what's being spoken about. So that was one of the things on my list, okay? The second thing was worry. Even though I'm very strong, very independent, and been through all of these tragedies and obstacles that 99.9% of humans never faced, I got attached to worry in a good way, meaning that I was always like preparing for the next problem and being ready for it. And even though it wasn't drowning me and stopping me from, doing tons and tons of positive things, it was actually distracting me from being present in the moment because I was living in a future that didn't exist. I was always expecting the next family member to get sick because so many passed away through sickness and the multiple suicides. And I was always worried about problems with construction because I had some lawsuits and had some natural disasters with properties and homes in the islands in Greece. And I always had the expectation of the next economic crisis, living in a transit hub like the UAE and Dubai for 15 years, where we're pinned to the dollar, and the dollar's the #1 export, the oil. We've had more mini crises than most places because everything's so high here. So when something goes wrong, it goes really, really low with tourism, with economy, with real estate and all these things. So I was always sort of like on the edge, waiting for the next problem. So that was the second thing that I had to put onto my list. And the third thing that I had to put on my list that was stopping me from being able to stay disciplined all the time was viewing the people around me rewarding themselves every so often, and me telling myself like, you need a break. You're so disciplined with your food. You're so disciplined with your work. You're so disciplined with your career. You're so disciplined with your non-negotiables. And everybody else is treating themselves. And you should also take a weekend off. You should also just go for a massage after the gym. You should also just grab a pizza today. And that started to break away from my character and from my goals. So I had to put these things and change them. And what I did with that was when it came to the worrying, I said to myself, all I can do at this point is do the best for right now. I can prepare myself to be the best version for the future as my reactions have become better. And I've always come out on top of the obstacles since making those transitions in my life. But thinking about it in detail, how I'm going to fix a problem that doesn't exist, is stealing away from the value of what I'm trying to create right now, from the value of what I'm trying to bring to the conversation with the person I'm with right now, from the value of me trying to be the best that I can be in this moment, in this consultation, at this dinner, at this meeting. And once I put that into my head and just said, I'm trying to fight a ghost that I can't actually touch, I can't actually hit, it just went away. The second thing with the scrolling and, watching my UFC fights and the things that I like with the hobbies, cars, travel, I just had to plan a certain time. I said to myself, these are the hours that I'm productive. These are the hours that I have to put into my business. These are the hours I have to put into my fitness. These are the hours I have to put into my phone. And this 1 hour is what I allowed myself to be able to view the sports, the races, the cars, these products. Maybe I need a new pair of shoes. Maybe I want to buy a new television. Maybe I want to buy an exhaust system for one of their cars. Once I allotted a certain space for that, I didn't have any more distractions. If I opened up my phone at my computer, at my desk to speak to a client, I didn't open up, one of the websites that I could order parts from or order clothes from. Or I didn't open up and scroll through social media and just start checking through a couple of people's stories. And that helped me increase my productivity because I was much more focused in the moment and more productive. And the third thing, me associating myself with other people, I just realized that I'm not really seeing everybody reward themselves all the time. It's just that when you see 3,000 people and 10 of them reward themselves, it just seems like everybody's doing it. The other 90%, 95% are not. It's just something that your brain is seeking. Your brain starts playing tricks with you that your brain is seeking to give itself some comfort. So once I got those things out of the way over the last few years, I became even better at my work and became more productive and became more efficient. The second thing I want to speak to you guys about when it comes to mastering self-discipline is just preparation. It's just preparation. Prepare yourself ahead of time and you will have more discipline. Because if you're trying to get healthier, but you don't have your gym bag ready, you don't have your food prep ready, you don't have the foods that you need in your house ready, you don't have your mind set when you're leaving work to have that espresso at 4 p.m. so that you can meet your coach at 5 or your training buddy, and you're doing everything last minute and you're putting it off, you're gonna be trampling over your feet in that process. You're always going to be disassociating yourself with becoming the person that you're trying to create, and then your brain's eventually gonna tell you, this is not for me. So you gotta prepare yourself. You got to prepare yourself on whatever that goal is. If it's a health and fitness goal, if it's a business goal, you have to prepare. At the beginning of the month, you say to yourself, I'm going to do calls on these days. I'm going to work on my website these days. I'm going to have these meetings non-negotiable on these days. I'm going to do this amount of cold calls these days. I'm going to send emails to these groups every single day from 5 till 6. And you prepare yourself. You have to prepare your environment. You have to have your stuff out, have your written, tasks of the day next to your laptop. You have a handwritten contract with yourself. You got your gym bag ready. You've got your pan with your spatula and, your oats in that little plastic container next to the pan on the stove and the countertop in the morning time, so that when you wake up, I'm gonna have eggs and oats today. I'm not just gonna leave the house lazy and hungry and then eat all the donuts and all the biscuits at work. So preparation is key for you to be able to master self-discipline. And the last, which was my favorite to execute and overcome and conquer in the end, but I hated the most, the best tip I can say for you to master your self-discipline is to get good at the things that you avoid, even if it has nothing to do with your goal. Because how we do one thing is how we do everything. So there were certain things that I hated to do. I still really don't like them. I don't like doing my accounts. I don't like updating websites. I don't like recurring customer service to past clients. Anyone who's ever worked with me, I do reach out throughout the year. If you've ever invested into me, you know out there that over the years, I give emails, I give texts, I send voice notes. I always show love and appreciation for these people, time and time and again. I don't sell them anything. I don't give them any new offers. I just give them a hello and an encouragement because I believe in the process. And just in case they're going through a bad time, just in case they gave up, just in case something new popped up into their life, I give them that voice note, I give them that text, I give them that email, and they're like, fuck, all right, there's a cheerleader out there for me, there's a fan, there's somebody who cares about my process, even though I paid for them and I'm not paying for them now. And that might give them a boost to be able to, get some fire underneath of them and get moving with their goals again. And that is, something that it's a non-negotiable for me. It's very time consuming, but I believe in that. It's part of my brand and it's part of my process. So these things that I sucked at doing, okay, I had to get really good at because I was giving them that mentality of like, all right, if I nail all these things, but this one's kind of shitty, I'll still do okay. Now, what if I started to relate that aspect of my social media content or my career ethics with my clients into my interpersonal relationships? What if I did that with a loved one? What if I did that with a sibling? What if I did that to a best friend? What if I did that to my wife? You know what I mean? It's like I nail all these things, but this one I'm really crappy at and I really hate doing and I don't really want to participate in. I'm just going to keep sweeping it under the rug. That's going to cause a problem in my life. And without me intentionally trying to cause a problem, it's going to end up, going into the other aspects of my life because it's a trait that I carry. So you see all these people online talking about focus on your strengths because, everyone's a snowflake and insecure and, feels less of, and people are trying to highlight people's strengths, and that's good and all, but highlight your fucking weaknesses. Highlight your weaknesses. Get that one weak link in your chain nailed. Just get good at it. Doesn't mean you gotta love it. Just do it better and get good at it. And then all those other things that you tick off, the other 9 that you're really good at, are gonna increase to 10s. You're gonna go from like a B+ or A- to an A+ and all those other factors because you took that thing that you're an F at or you're a D at to like a B+. Trust me, once I did this, it made everything so much easier because those things that I kept putting off were eating away at my time, eating away at my energy, eating away at my emotional state with that goal, with that endeavor, with that responsibility, with that obligation. So nail the things that you suck at, get good at those things, and watch the rest of your life elevate like crazy. So those are my tips on how to be able to master your self-discipline. I hope it can bring you guys some value. If you have any questions or need any help, all my information is in the bio with the links attached. If you have any inquiries on coaching, on business, or consultations, my mentorship programs, stay true to yourself. Don't let anything or anyone get in the way of the life that you want to live. And if you guys like the content, please like, please comment, please share, and help the channel grow. Take care.